Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Haldina, and first of all, I just want to say welcome to everyone that has been joining over the last couple of days. So, first and foremost, I'm going to explain right now that I'll be explaining the history of this group in the terms of the players, not in terms of RP, as I believe that the gameplay writes the history itself, though there's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of RP lore writing to put some sprinkles on the tops of things. So, starting from the beginning, this group was founded during the earliest moments of the first Malevelon Creek siege. We were a group of around 20 individuals back then, and during that time we did have a Discord server, who really liked fighting on the bot front, to the point that we had sunk in around 200 hours since the game's launch during this time, just on this front alone. Like, we were addicted to fighting these tin cans. And as the fighting on Malevelon Creek would begin to expand, grow, and more players from the bug front would go over, we noticed that there was a large influx of SOS calls. This group of ours would basically split off into pairs of two, and we would drop down onto anyone on the bot front, on any planet, who was sending up an SOS call to help them. Now, these players were struggling back then because none of them really had an idea of how to deal with the more heavier armored units of the automatons. So our group basically became all anti-heavy armor, and we would basically help these players finish off their missions, while also in the middle of these missions we would try our best to teach them over comms. We got really good at this, to the point that we had, due to our time zones, were able to get groups running for, I believe it was at our best, 15 hours per day. And people were on, like, say, 3 to 4 hour shifts during all Malevelon Creek fronts, and even a couple of Hellmire fronts. Sadly, our group ended up disbanding a little while ago, and this is due to the whole Sony debacle. Sony added and tried to implement a authentication process. Basically, you had to use a Sony account to log in to play Helldivers. But with this as well, this whole authentication bullshit, came with the problem that there are countries where Sony's systems are not permitted. And in the end, 175 countries ended up getting region locked out of Helldivers. We had a lot of players from those 175 countries that got region locked, to the point where our group of 20 dropped down to just 4. And that is including myself. This hit us very hard in a morale sense, to the point where the original creator of our group ended up deleting and disbanding the Discord. After this, you have all the massive controversial weapon nerfs that happened to everyone, to the point that it was very hard for us to try and go in on these harder bot missions, even with our original loadouts. So in the end, it kind of dropped down to just me being the last remaining member. And it was during this time that a new group that was gaining followers and popularity very quickly came around. This group was the Chaos Divers, which I ended up joining, and in a way, after being around the Chaos Divers for a while, I kind of wanted to bring back this old group. My old group, the 222nd Iron Brigade. Now that you know the backstory of this, let us go over the main core ideals, what we do. First of all, we are a Chaos Diver sub-faction. So we will follow and carry out Chaos Diver orders, yet their orders are kind of secondary. Our job is to teach, to educate, and to help new players or struggling players, though we do try to operate mostly on the bot front, as that is the harder part of the game, and still to this point in my opinion, though that comes down to personal opinion. But yes, I'm very grateful for those who have already started to join us. We're at 7 strong at the moment. So, thank you to everyone who has watched this video. I'm going to go now edit this and get this posted, while also working on our first ever major order. So, best of luck, and remember, Movere Libertas, divers, no diver gets left behind.